Hello, and welcome to another power-packed Phillips podcast, or P to the fourth power. Yeah, buddy. Today's podcast is going to be on lesson 1-1, part 2, exponents. So if you would, please grab your spiral that you're going to be doing your notes and homework in, and a pencil. And while you're doing that, I'll get a better looking spiral to put on the screen. That's what I'm talking about. And if you would, please write lesson 1-1, part 2, exponents in your notes and homework spiral, please. Alrighty guys, a couple of vocabulary words to address here at the beginning. We're going to talk about exponents today. Base and power. The exponent is pretty easy. You guys have seen that before. That's the number that's written small and it's kind of hanging in the air. The base is a number that's written large, and together the base and exponent are called a power. So base, exponent, and power. All right, just a couple of reminders. If you are writing a base to the first power, you usually do not write the exponent of 1. So for example, right here, if you had 7 to the first power, or an exponent of 1, you don't have to write 7 to the first, you just write 7. Any exponent to the second power, we can call squared. So if you see a little exponent of 2, we can call that squared. Any exponent to the third power, we call cubed. Alrighty guys, we're going to do a couple of examples, so please write them in your spiral. Evaluate. Evaluate means to solve. So if you would, please write 9 with an exponent of 5. 9 with an exponent of 5. Now first things first. Some people say, oh, Mr. Phillips, that's easy. 9 to the 5th power equals 45. And I say,
oh my gosh.
Thanks for playing. You don't do 9 times 5. We're going to write the base, which is 9. We're going to write this base, which is 9, 5 times. So let's write the base 9 5 times. So I wrote 9 5 times. Okay, my exponent was 5. I wrote it 5 times. Now I'm going to multiply. So I have 9 times 9. That's going to give me 81. 9 times 9 is going to give me 81. Now I'm going to multiply 81 by 81. That's going to give me 6,561. Now this 9 is going to be like a person who falls out of a tree. So this 9 here, who is left on the end, is kind of like a person who falls out of a tree. So now I'm going to do 6,561 times 9. Remember, he fell out of the tree. He had a bad day. When I multiply those together, it gives me 59,049. So 9 to the 5th power is not 45. 9 to the 5th power is 59,049. Please make sure you have that example written in your notes. All right, now some of you out there might be saying, but Mr. Phillips, that takes too long. I don't want to do it that way. I just want to be able to grab a calculator and type it in here and keep track. Well, here's the problem, guys. If you're not keeping track of how many 9s you put on the screen, and your calculator is going to be different than mine, it's not going to keep track, you are going to get a different number. So while I think you should multiply it on the calculator to check it, I also think you should work it out this way, because remember, you have to survive the algebra EOC. and may the math be ever in your favor. If you do it this way, I think it takes longer, but I also think you will survive longer on the EOC. Don't just grab a calculator and then start typing in the numbers and thinking you can keep track. That is a bad strategy. All right, guys, second example I'd like you to write in your spiral. We're going to evaluate or solve 2 to the 8th power. 2 to the 8th power exponent of 8. Again, some of you are just going to say, oh, that's easy. 2 with an exponent of 8 equals 16. And I would say negative. Wah, 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 wah. Thanks for playing. You didn't even survive past the first day of the Hunger Games. We're going to write the base, which is 2, 8 times. 8 times. So let's go ahead and do that. On your paper, write the base 2, 8 times. Notice on the screen that I've written it 8 times because my exponent was 8. Again, this is going to take a little longer, but I think you'll survive longer in the games. 2 times 2 is going to give me 4. 2 times 2 gives me 4. I compare these up, it gives me 4. I compare these up, it gives me 4. Now, 4 times 4 gives me 16. And 4 times the 4 over here, gives me 16. Now I'll do 16 times 16. When I do that, 2 to the 8th power gives me 256. So please take a moment and make sure that you have that written in your spiral. Again, guys, just a friendly reminder, some of you aren't going to want to do that, and you're just going to want to grab a calculator and start plugging in numbers. I think that's a really good way to check your answer at the end, but I'm not sure I would do it that way because it's very easy just to hit an extra 2 or an extra number, and now you can clearly see that 512 is the wrong answer. Again, I don't think you're going to survive the algebra EOC that long, and the math will not be forever in your favor if you try to take that shortcut. So don't fall to the dark side. All right, guys, as we wrap up another Power Pack Phillips podcast, know what I'm saying, baby? Just wanted to let you know that you can view a copy of this podcast in Blackboard. And, I'm really going to high tech, baby. Bye, roll. You also can view this podcast in YouTube. So, if you want to, you can go to youtube.com. You're going to type in Brian, B-R-I-A-N, J-P, and 72. Now, I know there may be some cracks out there from those wise guys. No, 72 is not my age. I just couldn't do a sign-in name for YouTube as Brian JP. It was already taken. So, shh, don't tell anybody. But if you go to YouTube and go to Brian JP 72, dear, you'll see that there's 0 subscribers. So please make the crazy math teacher happy and go to YouTube, do a search for Brian JP 72, and subscribe to his podcast. So anytime he puts a new one there, you'll get notified and be able to see it. And who knows, maybe by this weekend, he'll actually have more than 10 subscribers. Because I really could have 3 subscribers right now. My wife and 2 kids. Hey, that's 3 more than I had before. Maybe I'll have them subscribe this weekend too. All right, guys. Later. Bye.